This is video number 2 of our review of business structures. We want to take a look at the characteristics of the different structures in terms of the businesses. We want to take a look at the characteristics of the number of sellers, the type of product, the barriers to entry, and market power. Market power is the ability to change price and not lose customers. And again, to review, the types of business structures that we're looking at are pure competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. First, looking at pure competition, the number of sellers is that there are many, many sellers. The type of product is a standardized product or a homogeneous product. The type of market that we might identify in terms of an example would be the farmers markets that we see lots of times on the weekends in many of our cities. And in the farmers market, we might have various vendors who are selling their agricultural products. And we might have a difficulty recognizing the difference between Farmer Betty's peaches and Farmer John's peaches. And typically in a farmer's market, there's a number of vendors who are selling the same type of product. And because it's a farmer's market, the locations of the different stands might be close together. So if we can't tell the difference between the peaches, and if one stand has higher price than the others, we are likely to not go to the highest price. We're probably going to buy from the vendor that has the lowest price. In terms of barriers to entry for pure competition, we say that those barriers to entry are low, and we define a barrier to entry as the ability to get into the marketplace. And so typically we say that the costs are low. What makes a high barrier to entry might be a patent, might be the distribution process, might simply be the manufacturing process, which is complicated and expensive, etc. The last characteristic that we take a look at is market power. Market power, again, is the ability to raise the price and not lose customers. For pure competition, we say that the firms in pure competition have no market power, and we refer to them as basically being a price taker. There's another characteristic that I haven't listed here, but it's also significant, I think. Probably not going to be on anybody's tests, but that has to do with the ability to access information. And with pure competition, we say that everybody knows what everybody else is doing, and so that makes it easier for entry for new firms to enter the industry. Taking a look at monopolistic competition, there are still many sellers, probably fewer than in pure competition. The type of product is a product where there are many substitutes, but monopolistic competition has the ability to differentiate their product. I mentioned before in our video number 1, where I had my grandsons, and I said that on their visit with us for a few days, that we bought some hamburgers. Well, a hamburger is simply a piece of beef between some bread, but there's lots and lots of people who sell hamburgers, and they try to differentiate their product. The place that we went, in terms of the fixings or the dressings that you could put on it, you could say, okay, I want everything on it, and everything included mushrooms. And I opted out of mushrooms. I said, no, thanks. I don't really want mushrooms on my hamburger. But differentiation means that you try to cater to people's tastes and preferences by making your product just a little bit different, with the idea that you'll get more customers. In terms of barriers to entry, there are still low barriers to entry with monopolistic competition. Market power, because they have the ability to differentiate their product. If I were to ask people, where would you go to get a hamburger? We would probably have a lot of different preferences because in their mind, that product is differentiated. So that gives them a firm in monopolistic competition, that gives them the ability to raise price a little bit and not lose customers. The next structure we're going to look at is oligopoly. With oligopoly, we say that there are a few sellers who have the majority of the market share. And what's the majority? It's typically 60 to 70% of the market share. We say that their product is also differentiated, like we said, with monopolistic competition, but we still recognize that there are some substitutes. I guess the example of oligopoly that I like to refer to is the soft drink industry, where you have cola drinks, Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola. Both cola drinks, both typically have caffeine in it, both typically have a lot of sugar in them or sweeteners. But again, in some people's minds, they would prefer one cola over another, and so that product is differentiated. The barriers to entry are typically high, and that is because there are basically few firms that have so much of the market share, and so it's hard for somebody else to come in and get market share or compete with those firms that have big market share, and they have market power. Monopoly. The next market structure, only one seller. It is a unique type of product. If you want that product, you're going to have to buy it from that monopoly. The barriers to entry are high, and typically those barriers are high because of patent and copyright laws that protect their particular type of product. The distribution, their ability to buy at low prices means that they have the ability to sell at very competitive prices, and it's hard for other firms to be able to match their ability to for pricing or to match their ability to distribute. And they have high market power. That means that they can set their own price. But remember, with monopoly, and we'll get into this in our next video in terms of market structures. But remember that monopoly is still subject to prices and to the law of demand.